Okay, so now I'm going to show you a little bit about the game view and preparing for a game in Baseball Pocket Coach. So we are on the team details screen, and you can see I've entered a bunch of player names under the Players tab. Now I'm going to tap on the Game tab at the top, and I have one new game entered against the opponent, Red Dogs. And just to remind you how I created a new game, tap the button in the top right corner, say Add a Game. So I'm going to tap on this game, and I've done a little bit of setup already. Notice at the top of the screen there's three main tabs. The fielding positions for your team. The next one is the batting results for your team. And the third one is a pitch counter and pitching results. Right now we're going to look at the fielding setup. And if you notice under inning number 1, I've got 9 people out in the field for the first 9 batters. So I'm going to tap on the P next to Adam. I had put him in a pitcher, but let's say he's not going to show up on time. So I'm going to change him. So I'm going to tap on the P. And you have a nice little diagram of all the positions I have filled. And I'm going to change his position to the bench. So on the bottom right, I'm going to tap on sit. And notice that now sit is marked in red. Red means bad. In this case, it means you're missing a position somewhere. In this case, we don't have a pitcher. So I'm going to put John in as pitcher down at the bottom. I'm going to tap on the dash, dash, dash next to John. Move him to pitcher. And now no more red. That's good. Now let's say the next inning I want to be just the same as the first inning. So I'm going to tap on the 2 where it says inning number 2. And it says, do you want to copy those positions? I'm like, yeah, I do. Save me a lot of time. And let's say now I want to switch pitchers. Maybe I want Adam to pitch the second inning. So I will tap on Adam, inning number 2. Change him to pitcher. Now the P is in red. Red is bad. Why? Because now I have 2 pitchers. Before I had 0. So down at the bottom where it says John, I'm going to tap on the red P there. Put him on the bench. Now everybody's happy. So this is how you set up the positions where you want everyone to play. Let's take a look at the next tab at the top, the batting results. So do not confuse the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with innings, okay? You can do it that way, but you don't need to. This is the at-bat number. So if you're going to, in an entire game, if everybody bats 3 times, you may only use 3 columns. It's a lot more concise than spreading it out across every inning. However, if you'd like to do that because you're used to the scorebook, you certainly can. So right now, the batting order is just how I've entered it when I was entering in the players. But let's say I want to move things around a little bit. I'm going to go up to the top right corner, tap the menu button, and I'm going to say rearrange batting order. And now you can see there's little thumbs on the right that I can drag. And let's say I want John to bat first. So I'm going to pull him up to here. And now John is batting first, so I'm going to say done. And let's say I also found out that George, well, let's say Kent and Larry are not going to be here today. So if I swipe toward the left, I can say not here. Swipe again to the left, not here. And now Larry and Kent are off in the not here section. That's good. And then as we start batting, I'm going to tap on the dashes next to John at bat number 1. And I'm going to say, oh, John got a single. Good. Then Adam got up and he popped out. And Bob got up and let's see, he got a ground out. And Charlie gets up and he hits a triple. Okay, so if I really want to track the score as well as just batting results, let's say John scored on that triple. So now I can tap on John, and down at the bottom I can say, oh, he scored. And we're done. Now you notice that John, the single is marked in green. Green means that was a run scored. Okay, so looking at what we have so far, we have 1 run scored, we have 2 outs, and we've still got 1 out left. So let's say Dan gets up and he pops out. Okay, that was the 3rd out. Down to bottom right, I can mark that as the end of the inning. And that just puts a little slash there. Now in a traditional scorebook, when Edward gets up next, you would mark him to the right of the previous inning. But like I said, you don't need to do that because this is just keeping track of batting results and that's it. So instead of putting Edward's result in the 2nd column, I'm going to move it to the 1st column. So we're going to take away that result and I'm going to put it in a more concise format right below the last inning, which was marked with a slash. Okay, so that's a quick introduction to fielding positions, batting results. You notice the score updated at the top. Rockies 1, that's my team. Red Dog 0. Let's say, okay, now we've made our 3 outs. The other team is up, and I want to record the fact that they scored 2 runs. So I will just tap on the score at the top and give the opponent 2 runs. Now it's Red Dogs 2, Rockies 1. So there's another way to keep track of your own team score. If you don't want to keep track of all the batting results and mark people as scored and made an out and end of inning, you don't have to. Notice when I tapped on the score at the top, under our score, by default, it's calculated automatically from the batting results. If you don't want to do that, you can just punch in the score, just like you do with the opponent. Your choice. Okay, I think this is a good pause point. Thank you very much.